like, Sam thought, as he climbed awkwardly to his feet. When Craster learned that his unwanted guests would be departing on the morrow, the wildling became almost amiable, or as close to amiable as Craster ever got. "Past time," he said. "You don't belong here, I told you that. All the same, I'll see you off proper, with a feast. Well, a feed. My wives can roast them horses you slaughtered, and I'll find some beer and bread." He smiled his brown smile. "Nothing better than beer and horse meat. If you can't ride 'em, eat 'em. That's what I say." His wives and daughters dragged out the benches and the long log tables, and cooked and served as well. Except for Gilly, Sam could hardly tell the women apart. Some were old, and some were young, and some were only girls, but a lot of them were Craster's daughters as well as his wives, and they all looked sort of alike. As they went about their work, they spoke in soft voices to each other, but never to the men in black. Craster owned but one chair. He sat in it, clad in a sleeveless sheepskin jerkin. His thick arms were covered with white hair, and about one wrist was a twisted ring of gold. Lord Commander Mormont took the place at the top bench to his right, while the brothers crowded in knee to knee. A dozen remained outside to guard the gate and tend the fires. Sam found a place between Gren and Orphan Oss, his stomach rumbling. The charred horse meat dripped with grease as Craster's wives turned the spits above the fire pit, and the smell of it set his mouth to watering again. But that reminded him of Bannon. Hungry as he was, Sam knew he would retch if he so much as tried a bite. How could they eat the poor faithful Garons who had carried them so far? When Craster's wives brought onions, he seized one eagerly. One side was black with rot, but he cut that part off with his dagger and ate the good half raw. There was bread as well, but only 2 loaves. When Ulmer asked for more, the woman only shook her head. That was when the trouble started. 2 loaves? Clubfoot Carl complained from down the bench. How stupid are you women? We need more bread than this. Lord Commander Mormont gave him a hard look. Take what you're given and be thankful. Would you sooner be out in the storm eating snow? We'll be there soon enough. Clubfoot Carl did not flinch from the old bear's wrath. I'd sooner eat what Craster's hiding, my lord. Craster narrowed his eyes. I gave you crows enough. I got me women to feed. Dirk speared a chunk of horse meat. Aye, so you admit you got a secret larder. How else to make it through a winter? I'm a godly man, Craster started. You're a miserly man, said Carl, and a liar. Hams, Garth of Old Town said in a reverent voice. There were pigs last time we come. I bet he's got hams hid someplace. Smoked and salted hams. And bacon, too. Sausage, said Dirk. Them long black ones, they're like rocks. They keep for years. I bet he's got 100 hanging in some cellar. Oats, suggested Ollo Lophand. Corn, barley. Corn, said Mormont's raven with a flap of the wings. Corn, corn, corn. Enough, said Lord Commander Mormont over the bird's raucous calls. Be quiet, all of you. This is folly. Apples, said Garth of Greenway. Barrels and barrels of crisp autumn apples. There were apple trees out there, I saw 'em. Dried berries, cabbages, pine nuts. Corn, corn, corn. Salt mutton. There's a sheepfold. He's got casks and casks of mutton laid by. You know he does. Craster looked fit to spit them all by then. Lord Commander Mormont rose. Silence! I'll hear no more such talk. Then stuff bread in your ears, old man. Clubfoot Carl pushed back from the table. Or did you swallow your bloody crumb already? Sam saw the old bear's face go red. Have you forgotten who I am? Sit, eat, and be silent. That is a command. No one spoke. No one moved. All eyes were on the Lord Commander and the big club-footed ranger, as the two of them stared at each other across the table. It seemed to Sam that Carl broke first, and was about to sit, though sullenly. But Crasters stood, and his axe was in his hand, the big black steel axe that Mormont had given him as a guest gift.
"No," he growled, "you'll not sit. No man insults me and sleeps beneath my roof nor eats at my board. Out with you, cripple! And you, and you, and you!"
He jabbed the head of the axe toward Dirk and Garth in turn.
"Go sleep in the cold with empty bellies, the lot of you, or, bloody bastard!"
Sam heard one of the Garths curse. He never saw which one.
"Who calls me bastard?"
Craster roared, sweeping platter and meat and wine cups from the table with his left hand, while lifting the axe with his right.
"It's no more than all men know,"
Carl answered. Craster moved quicker than Sam would have believed possible, vaulting across the table with axe in hand. A woman screamed. Garth Greenway and Orphan Oss drew knives. Carl stumbled back and tripped over Sir Byam lying wounded on the floor. One instant, Craster was coming after him, spitting curses. The next, he was spitting blood. Dirk had grabbed him by the hair, yanked his head back, and opened his throat ear to ear with one long slash. Then he gave him a rough shove, and the wildling fell forward, crashing face first across Sir Byam. Byam screamed in agony as Craster drowned in his own blood, the axe slipping from his fingers. Two of Craster's wives were wailing, a third cursed, a fourth flew at Sweet Donnell and tried to scratch his eyes out. He knocked her to the floor. The Lord Commander stood over Craster's corpse, dark with anger.
"The gods will curse us!" he cried. "There is no crime so foul as for a guest to bring murder into a man's hall. By all the laws of the hearth, we—" "There are no laws beyond the wall, old man. Remember?"
Dirk grabbed one of Craster's wives by the arm and shoved the point of his bloody dirk up under her chin.
"Show us where he keeps the food, or you'll get the same as he did, woman." "Unhand her!"
Mormont took a step.
"I'll have your head for this, you—"
Garth of Greenway blocked his path, and Allo Lophand yanked him back. They both had blades in hand.
"Hold your tongue,"
Allo warned. But instead the Lord Commander grabbed for his dagger. Allo had only one hand, but that was quick. He twisted free of the old man's grasp, shoved the knife into Mormont's belly, and yanked it out again, all red. And then the world went mad. Later, much later, Sam found himself sitting cross-legged on the floor, with Mormont's head in his lap. He did not remember how they'd gotten there, or much of anything else that had happened after the old bear was stabbed. Garth of Greenway had killed Garth of Old Town, he recalled, but not why. Raleigh of Sisterton had fallen from the loft and broken his neck after climbing the ladder to have a taste of Craster's wives,